Welcome to Belding High School and the commencement ceremony for the class of 2026. Tonight's celebration will begin promptly at 7 p.m. Prior to the start of the ceremony, Welcome to Belding High School and the commencement ceremony for the class of 2026. Tonight's celebration will begin promptly at 7 p.m. Prior to the start of the ceremony, we ask that all guests are seated in the bleachers or in the seats located on the gym floor. Please do not stand on the track during the ceremony. If you need to use the restroom, please do. Welcome to Belding High School and the commencement ceremony for the class of 2026. Tonight's celebration will begin promptly at 7 p.m. Prior to the start of the ceremony, we ask that all guests are seated in the bleachers or in the seats located on the gym floor. Please do not stand on the track during the ceremony. If you need to use the restroom, please do so before the event begins. Restrooms are conveniently located in the gym lobby. Thank you again for joining us at Belding High School for tonight's celebration of the class of 2026. Tonight's celebration will begin promptly at 7 p.m. Prior to the start of the ceremony, we ask that all guests are seated in the bleachers or in the seats located on the gym floor. Please do not stand on the track during the ceremony. If you need to use the restroom, please do so before the event begins. Restrooms are conveniently located in the gym lobby. Thank you again for joining us at Belding High School for tonight's celebration of the class of 2026.
graduation commencement of the class of 2026. I am Reese Houghton, Senior Class President. Over the years, we have watched each other grow into the people we are today. You are all smart, passionate, empathetic, and kind individuals, and each and every single one of you has such a bright future ahead of you. We have spent so much time together since we all started in the young days of kindergarten, where we each did not know each other's names, yet let alone know anything about what we eventually wanted to grow up and become. Over time, we have come to know each other on a deeper level. We have seen each other exemplify the characteristics of what it means to be an outstanding person, ranging from band to sports to clubs in the classroom. We've all crossed paths in some way, shape, or form. As we move forward to the next step in our lives, it is always important to remember that we have each other. We are all starting fresh as soon as we leave this building here tonight. Our records are wiped clean, and everyone is going to follow their passions. But let this moment right now sink in, because we did it. Every person got here in their own way. We've all faced many different obstacles to make it to the stage tonight, and for our families to cheer us on as our name gets called and we walk across the stage. You should all feel so proud that you've accomplished this much and you are just getting started. One thing you may not know about me is that I love music. Furthermore, as our time comes to a close here at Belding High School, I want to leave you with one last thing. Billy Joel states in his song Vienna that Vienna waits for you. Vienna is a metaphor for slowing down, embracing life, and finding your inner peace. As we leave here today, always remember to take each day step by step. Belding is your home. These people that are here with us tonight and those that could not be here are so proud of each and every one of you. And without the support of our families, friends, and coaches and teachers, I advise you all to live life to the fullest as you take these next steps in your life and slow down as success takes time. With that being said, I know the class of 2026 has a prosperous future ahead. Finally, I would like to hand things off to Superintendent Mr. Brett Noski, and once again, congratulations, class of 2026.
Good evening, parents, family members, friends, staff, Board of Education, and most importantly, class of 2026. Thank you all for being here tonight as we celebrate an unforgettable milestone in the lives of these graduates. Tonight is about much more than diplomas, caps, and gowns. It's about years of hard work, growth, perseverance, friendships, memories, and the people who helped make this moment possible. Before I continue, I'd like to recognize and thank our outstanding Belding Area Schools Board of Education, Terry Bonney, Shannon Hummel, Doug Lamborn, Mike Baker, Sarah Foss, Jennifer Lynn, and Kevin Krieger. Their dedication and leadership continue to create opportunities for the students and strengthen this district we all care so deeply about. We are grateful for their service. And now to the class of 2026. I want you to know that I'm very proud of all of you. Over the years, I've had the privilege of watching you grow up from little kids walking into our schools for the first time to the young adults sitting before us tonight. I've gotten to know many of you very well from your frequent visits to the office. In fact, we had a new record this year. One of you set a record for visiting my office, and I'm not kidding, 257 times in the course of a year. You may ask, how is that even possible? There's only 180 school days in a school year. Well, this young man would stop in sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. And if I wasn't there, he was chatting it up with our central office staff. Brenner, Kane, and Miley made an effort to pass him, but they kind of fell off by the end of the year. So I have a little award for Hayden Nielsen. I do like kids stopping and seeing me in the office. I did like Hayden stopping in, but 257 times might have been a little overkill, but every class leaves its mark, and this class certainly did. Whether it was the daily visits, the endless questions about snow days in October, or the students who somehow believed my office was also a snack distribution center. You made this place better. You brought energy, laughter, personality, and life into our schools. But beyond the fun memories, what stands out most about this class is your resilience. You've grown up during a time when the world has often felt uncertain and divided. You faced pressure, expectations, setbacks, disappointments, and challenges that many adults still struggle to navigate. Yet here you are, stronger, wiser, and ready for what comes next. Your life will not be defined by what you achieve nearly as much as it will be defined by who you become. The world spends a lot of time telling you to chase success, to chase money, titles, recognition, followers. But the people who truly change the world are rarely remembered for what they own. They are remembered because of how they treated other people. Be humble enough to listen, be confident enough to lead, and be kind when it's easier not to be. And never underestimate how much one encouraging word, one act of compassion, or one moment of integrity can impact another person's life. As you move forward, remember this: your attitude will carry you farther than your talent ever will. There will be moments when life doesn't go according to plan. You will experience failure. You'll make mistakes. Every successful person in this world has. What matters is whether you keep moving forward. What matters is whether you continue to show up, continue to work hard, and continue to believe that difficult moments are not the end of your story. And finally, I encourage you to stay grounded in what matters most. Invest in your faith. Invest in your family. Invest in your friendships. Invest in serving others. At the end of your life, people will not remember the size of your paycheck or how many followers you had online. They'll remember how you made them feel. They will remember whether you loved people well. They will remember whether you made the world a little better simply because you were in it. As I look out at all of you tonight, I see future teachers, electricians, nurses, business owners, welders, military members, coaches, parents, and leaders. I see young people who are capable of doing incredible things, not because you're perfect, but because you care, because you're resilient, and because you have heart. Class of 2026, don't be afraid to dream big. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to stand out for the right reasons. The world desperately needs good people, and I believe this class is filled with them. I'll leave you tonight with a quote from Mother Teresa. Not all of us can do great things, but we can all do small things with great love. If you live your life that way, you will be successful no matter what your path leads. Congratulations, class of 2026. I love each and every one of you. I believe in you, and I cannot wait to see the impact you make on this world. God bless you.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Noski. Thank you, Reese, for your welcome. My name is Michael Ostrander. I'm the proud principal here at Belding High School, and it is my honor to oversee this event, starting with the introduction of our student speakers. At this time, it's my honor to welcome Paige Percy to the stage. Paige is the valedictorian of the class of 2026, earning a 4.257 grade point average. Double that. Paige is the daughter of Jeffrey Percy. Her siblings are Isabel, Felix, and Trinity Percy. While in high school, Paige has been busy. She's been in band, drama, student council, National Honor Society, Business Professionals of America, college ambassadors, and the prom committee. She has earned several credits through dual enrollment and advanced placement courses. In the fall, she plans to attend Michigan State University to major in science and anthropology. Once again, welcome to our valedictorian, Paige Percy.
Good evening, and again, thank you for joining us to celebrate the commencement of the Belding High School class of 2026. Friends, family, faculty, and community members alike, we as students truly owe our arrival here tonight to your guidance and support over the years. My classmates and fellow graduates, tonight we celebrate not just 4 years, but over a decade of growth and education. Tonight, which is why I hope you will carry with you tonight and going forward immense gratitude and compassion for others as these people have done for you all these years. For me, gratitude and compassion have always been the pillars of my day-to-day. They have helped me to be more positive and find a greater appreciation for many aspects of my life. Like, for example, the simple fact that I have been fortunate enough to attend Belding for my entire educational career. Looking back, there are many things to be grateful for that Belding has provided us with. First and foremost, the amazing community that has been built around us. Belding has been a very tight-knit community with a town full of supporters. We've never felt left for a competition or a game or a conference feeling like we have no backing. Our families and community have worked tirelessly to provide us with the best possible resources. From improvements to our auditorium to a brand new field, they are always finding ways to improve our school experience. We have also seen great support within our school from our administration and faculty, specifically over the years with an increased recognition of the arts, as well as general improvements to the building aimed to improve student wellness. Thanks to the efforts of specifically Josh King, our auditorium manager, who has worked to improve our drama program year to year, and Ms. Sprague, who has almost single-handedly brought our art program to light with an annual art show representing students from K through 12, we have seen a direct growth in community recognition of our arts program. In the high school alone, we've seen several improvements to our facilities, including a near entire interior refurbishing of our common spaces, from repainting to replacing old lockers. Additionally, we've also had greater access to student resources such as specialized counseling, from guidance counseling to college and career guidance, academic and mental health guidance counselors. Alongside these resources, we've also been presented with many opportunities for learning outside of the classroom. Thanks to our administration, particularly Dr. O, bringing in guest speakers and new programs, our students have experienced a more well-rounded and enriching education. Some notable mentions being the Every Monday Matters and Do It for Daniel programs, which taught students to recognize that they do matter. Additionally, we had a Holocaust survivor come in to teach students about the necessary but sensitive topic of mass atrocities. All of these work together to teach students the importance of kindness and compassion for others. This, alongside direct community encouragement for student engagement with organizations like Feeding America and the Bee Foundation, have taught our students to be more compassionate and giving people, and have shown the importance and necessity of volunteering and generosity. Now, I know I've spent a lot of time talking about our school and community and the opportunities we've been provided, but this has all been to show how gratitude in the present can help us lead to more gracious lives in the future. By recognizing everything and everyone who has supported us, we learn not to take things for granted in our daily lives. As I wrap up, I would like to end by discussing the young men and women before you today. Before my classmates and I get ready to walk this stage and enter the ranks of many reputable Belding alum, I would like to comment on the character of this graduating class. If there is one way I would sum up our class, it's that we are incredibly versatile. Over our 4 years at Belding High School, we've had at least one member of our class in every club and sport and have taken advantage of numerous opportunities to advance our learning through CAS, dual enrollment, advanced placement in the Ionia County Career Center, as well as specialized coursework and training. We've always been an enthusiastic and witty group and ready to step up. we've also been very excited for new opportunities when they present themselves. Seeing all of my peers before me, I'm not surprised by what incredible individuals they've become. The growth I have had the privilege of witnessing every year has been truly inspiring, and I know there's nothing but success awaiting this group in their futures. As a group, we've faced challenges, particularly due to experiencing COVID and the quarantine during our middle school career, which is a pretty key time in preparing students for the transition into life and high school. But our hard work and determination has always compensated for that missed time and has always been a driving factor of our continued growth and success. Finally, to my fellow graduates, I'll say this. Tonight, I ask you not to reminisce on bygone days or what could have been, but to focus on where you are at this moment, how you have grown, and who you can become. Congratulations, class of 2026. I'm proud of every one of us and cannot wait to see what we'll do in our futures. Thank you.
Thank you, Paige. Great job. Our next student speaker is Delaney Lake. Delaney is the daughter of Gordon and Shallon Lake. Her older siblings, Ryan and Dylan, are both alumni of Belding High School, and her younger brother, Jameson, is a 6th grader at Belding Middle School. Delaney's been busy as well. She's been involved in every one of our band ensembles. She was a founding member of Collective Impact, has been involved in the National Honor Society, Student Council, and drama. In the fall, she will be attending the greatest university in the world, the University of Michigan, to study social studies and pursue a teaching degree. Upon graduation from Michigan, Delaney will be returning to Belding as a teacher. Okay, Delaney, I added that part, Delaney. But I would truly love for you to come back, and you're always welcome here. Please again join me in welcoming Delaney Lake.
Good evening, faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. My name is Delaney Lake, and I would like to start by saying that I have sat through many graduations, and by now I consider myself somewhat of an expert. We're all supposed to sit here and look very dignified in these oversized robes and wait for someone to tell us that graduation is not the end, but a new beginning. Years ago, I sat in the audience and I promised myself that if I stood at this podium, I would never resort to such a tired old cliche. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be original. But standing here today, looking at all of your faces that I've known since we were walking together, hips and lips in the elementary school hallways, I realized that the cliches are not the problem. The problem is that they do not go deep enough to describe what really happens in Belding and the pride that runs through this community. I'm sure that at some point in our lives, we have all heard the phrase Belding Pride or Black Knight Pride or some other version thereof. When we were kids, we thought that this phrase Belding Pride was just a set of rules, like holding the door open for the person behind you, picking up your trash, and using your manners. We thought it was a slogan to be printed on a t-shirt or a phrase to be yelled at a Friday night football game. And don't get me wrong, it still is all of those things. But as I've grown up, I've realized that Belding Pride is more than just a rule. It is a quiet, consistent choice to never let one of your own stand alone and to always leave a place better than you found it. In a world that often celebrates the biggest and the loudest, a class of 150 people can feel small. And it's okay to let people believe that, because they don't know what it's like to see an entire student body flood the hallways to play the fight songs for just 3 individuals that are going to state finals. And they don't know what it's like to see the soccer team in the front row of the musical, or to see the B Foundation paint the entire town pink for cancer awareness. In a giant district, you can feel like a data point, but in Belding, you are always a necessity. Whether you were an artist, an athlete, or one of those just trying to fly under the radar, You mattered to the ecosystem of these hallways. You are not just leaving today with a diploma, you are leaving with a blueprint for how to build a better community no matter where you go. Now, I'm supposed to leave you all with a piece of advice. And a long time ago, I made a promise to my dad that I would never, under any circumstances, quote Twilight in a graduation speech. Well, Dad, I'm sorry because I'm about to break that promise. As Alice Cullen once said, I've already seen it happen. And I have. I've seen this class face challenges that would have broken others, and I have seen you all come out stronger every single time. I'm not worried about our future because I know that we have been well prepared here. I want you to always remember the standard that we have set here in Belding. Brave the unknown with the same grit you have found in these hallways. Every mistake you make is just a draft of the person you are becoming. Live with the kind of intensity that makes people ask where you are from, and decide today that you will be the person who shows up when others walk away. Imagine a life that is defined by your impact, not just your income. Never forget that you have a home that is rooting for your success. Now go out and show the world a little bit of Belding pride, because we all know it could use it. So, class of 2026, let's be honest. Graduation is the end. It's the final time many of us will walk through these hallways, and it's the end of this specific version of ourselves. But tomorrow, when the sun comes up, we get to take what we have learned here, that little bit of Belding pride, and start something entirely new. It has been the honor of my life to grow up with all of you. Thank you, and congratulations.
Great job, Delaney. Thank you. It's now my honor to welcome to the stage our staff speaker for this evening, Mr. Nathan Davey. Some of you veteran folks in the stands are saying, wait a minute. Mr. Davey was my physics teacher a long time ago. That's not what he looks like. You're half right. That was his dad, Mr. Byron Davey. This Mr. Davey carved his own path in the familiar halls of Belding High School, where he graduated in 1997. Back then, his hair was a little longer, but his sense of humor was largely the same. Now, his humor and daily doses of real talk are his superpower in the classroom. When students talk to me about Mr. Davey, they generally say the same things. His classes are really tough, he will always open his door to help, and you can count on getting him sidetracked into good stories that somehow relate back to class every day. I'm really proud to have him on stage tonight to share his message with our seniors and look forward to sitting back and enjoying the show. Welcome again, Mr. Nathan Davey.
I know some of you are worried. Great. That man is going to start telling stories, and we are going to be here all day. I'm going to try to stick with what I wrote down and keep this short, but no promises, though. So anyway, stalker story. No? Okay, not that. All right, just so. When I was asked to give this speech, I was confused because I ramble and tell random stories. Why me? I'm not really the I want to leave you with 3 pieces of advice kind of person, you know? So my speech is about live, laugh, love. No, it's not. It's about family, faith, friends. Oh wait, that's Mr. Noski's thing. Dang it, this is tough. Most of the advice I give isn't really something to put in a graduation speech. Standing up here and saying, don't quit your job until you have another one lined up, that doesn't really fit in here. And here I am rambling. At least I'm staying true to form. Back on track. So I thought about what all the other staff and students over the years have talked about in their speeches. I've spent a lot of time over the past couple decades sitting right out there, listening to graduation speeches, and my favorite thing has always been the shout-outs. Every year I listen for that name drop, a reference to a parent, a student, a teacher, and I thought, what if I just made my whole speech shout-outs? Just tell stories about all of you. Just go down the line and tell a story about every single person. I could do that. Like Charlie and the ketchup packet, Mario and a former Eastern Michigan quarterback, Tegan and the cardboard boat, Ryan and his obsession with a certain member of my family. There are stories to be told, and it would be such a good time. Pretty sure the people in the bleachers would disagree, though, because it might take all night. But hey, I don't have school tomorrow, so I'm game if you are. We can just start right here with Paige. I'm kidding again. So, on track now. So anyway, a couple days ago, a student asked me who my favorite actor was. This isn't the first time someone has asked me that, so I had an answer ready. Steve Buscemi. You all know Steve Buscemi, right? No? He was in The Big Lebowski, Reservoir Dogs, Grown Ups, well, almost every Adam Sandler movie, really. For younger people, in Hotel Transylvania, he was the voice of the werewolf with all the kids. Or maybe you remember a while back there was this meme where it was the old guy with the backwards red hat and he had the skateboard and he's like, "How do you do, fellow kids?" Like, yeah. Well, that's Steve Buscemi. The reason why he's my favorite is because he is almost never the main character, the lead. He just shows up for a moment, does something funny or weird, and then he's out. I love those moments. Whenever he shows up, I know he's gonna make the movie better. The man needs a Lifetime Achievement Award. He's just so good. Never trying to steal the spotlight, just out there making cinema great. I know what you're thinking. Get to the point, Mr. Davey. I got a stage to walk across. I don't know if anyone else was getting this vibe, but in my head, that was totally in Jesse's voice. Really, you kind of knew this was going to happen if I was up here. There is a point. I'll get there eventually. Maybe. So back on track again. So there's this Latin phrase that has stuck with me over the years. Yeah, right, Mr. Davey. You, a Latin phrase. Okay, here comes the AI written portion of the speech. No, really. So it's shown up in a few different places. The last one was a couple years ago in the movie The Holdovers, which oddly enough was a teacher telling it to a group of students. The phrase is non nobis solum nati sumus. I think I said that right. Which translates to not for ourselves alone are we born. What? Not for ourselves alone are we born. I love it because so many people focus on being the main character, but we have to remember that our story is not the only story being told. We are meant to be a part of other people's stories. We might play a big role, or we might just show up for a moment, do something funny or weird, and then be out. You know, like Steve Buscemi. Sometimes it's intentional, but other times we don't even realize we're in someone else's story until it gets pointed out to us. Like in a shout out in a graduation speech. See, it all came back around. There was method in my madness. But we have to be careful. The part we play could be what makes a hero, or what makes a villain a villain. Sometimes we get so caught up in ourselves, our story, that we don't see how our words and actions impact the people around us and their stories. Sometimes you just have to pause and tell yourself, it's not always about you. And it doesn't make us bad people if we need to tell ourselves that from time to time. To remind ourselves that we are part of something bigger than just us. We are part of our family, our school, our community, humanity. Mr. Davey, getting a little preachy. I know, sorry. Put me behind a pulpit, it's bound to happen. It's kind of in my genetics. You can blame my dad. So yes, today is your day. Celebrate you. But as you all go out and write that proverbial next chapter in your lives, make sure you help someone else with their story. Make their story better. Be Steve Buscemi. Because we aren't just here on this earth for ourselves. Class of 2026, I'm gonna miss you. Thanks for being a part of my story. And thanks for letting me be a part of yours. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Mr. Davey. Students, I told you he wouldn't disappoint. Before we get to the part of the night where we're actually handing out diplomas, I'd like to take the opportunity to recognize our international students who have spent the year studying here at Belding High School. The exchange student program at BHS is an integral part of our school culture. These students spend 9 months of their lives in our classrooms and community, but they remain in the lives of their classmates and our teachers forever. Tonight, we have 4 exchange students participating in commencement. Joining me from American Legion Post 203 to present an American flag to the students is Rob Smith. From the Czech Republic, Karl Hansen. From Germany, Elias Schmuck. From Germany, Justus Kaluza. And from Italy, Anna Severini. Congratulations again, and thank you to the international students and to those of you who opened your homes to them. I would now like to recognize students who are graduating with honors tonight. As you may have noticed when students were walking in, many of them are listed in the program and wearing various different honor cords. Students wearing Navy and silver cords have had outstanding academic achievements in career and technical education courses at the Ione County Career Center. Students wearing a green and gold cord have completed the Michigan Transfer Agreement through Montcalm Community College. Students wearing red, white, and blue cords have committed to serving in the military after high school. Students wearing an orange cord are graduating cum laude with honors, having a GPA of 3.5 to 3.699. Students wearing a red cord are graduating with high honors, magna cum laude, with a GPA of 3.7 to 3.899. Students graduating with highest honors and a blue cord, summa cum laude, have a GPA of 3.9 to 3.999. Students wearing a gold cord are recognized as our senior scholars. They all have a GPA of 4.0 or higher. At this time, could all students wearing an honor cord please rise for a round of applause? And now I'd like to welcome Mrs. Ann Van Duzen, principal of our adult education program, for the presentation of diplomas to our adult learners. Mrs. Van Duzen is a tireless supporter of adult learners in our community. She recruits, pushes, promotes, and encourages her students to keep working toward their goals. She believes in the value of lifelong learning, that everyone has a unique path to a diploma, and that it is never too late to walk across this stage. Welcome again, Mrs. Ann Van Duzen.
I wasn't sure who he was talking about. Good evening. What a perfect night for graduation, and I was sitting in a spot where the sun wasn't blinding my eyes like normal. I have to share with you that this year, Belding Adult Ed had 22 completers, 10 who earned their GED certification, and 22 that earned their high school diploma. So that's a pretty awesome thing. This I was looking at is the 44th year of adult high school graduations. So we've been around a long time. So there might be some of you in the audience that actually attended adult education. I would now like to present to you the adult graduates of 2026. Starkweather. Parker Ross Huber. Kylie Ellen Gully. Hawkins. Louise Cruz. Damian L. Fackler. Gabrielle Elizabeth Afadal Suleiman Abu Bakr. Thank you.
All right, seniors, you've hung with us this far. Here's the time you've been waiting for, the presentation of your diplomas. Reese Charles Houghton. Delaney Lynn Lake. Colby Paul Hadrich. McKenna Jade Vanderlip. Elijah William Keitert. Mackenzie Faith Barrett. John David Holyfield III. Valeria Diaz. Christopher Jared Delgado. Cadence Elizabeth McGridge. Hayden Michael Bermudez. Elaine Rennie Mills. Kenny Ray J. Leisure. Leah Ann Fiesel. Jameson Van Acker. Anna Sarang Pigorj. Ryan Carter Woods. Alicia M. Batista. Andy Inman. Paige Marie Percy. Dawson James Donovan. Kaylee Zavalza Rodriguez. Avery Daniel Mangus. Urani Zavalza Rodriguez. Lucas William Brown. Megan Sophia Scheid. Tyler Allen Bosch. Isabel Ann Thompson. Alec Michael Glenn Abel. Peyton Lachey Zander. Dimitri John Lindemeyer. Emma Grace Wilson. Alan Gabriel Montero. Sarah K. Holland. Logan Michael Garvin. Shayla Martinez Martinez. Thomas Colvin Mangus. Alondra May Van Meter. Ryan Joseph Strauss. Jordan Catherine Inslee. Jackson Miles Porta. Dorismar Tobar. Elijah Jaden Scott Van Nest. Ava Marie Mikey. Ethan Moore. Caitlin Renee Mills. Thomas James Byrne. Kaylee Mae Walsh. Brenner Lane Parker. Mackenzie Sue-Ann Swan. Joseph David Sauer Jr. Autumn Jean Shattuck. Caden Helsel. Aubrey Faye Favreau. Victor Anthony Rivera. Madison Jolene Thomas. Aiden Jordan Cliff. Chloe Brielle Van Dyke. Trace Adam McDermott. Jennifer K. Tolentino. Antonio Joseph Smith II. Amara Joy German. Brevin Matthew Laney. Caitlin May Peverell. Clayton Christopher Baker. Ava Addison Buchholz. Bowden William Robinson. Grayson Lee Owen. Ethan Matthew Shendon. Emiliza Rachel Murray. Hayden Michael Nielsen. Catseal Mar Edith Peck. Simeon Patrick Todd Hare. Mackenzie Pearl Strauss. Owen Malachi Howells. Emerson Riley Meadows. Gavin Leland Tyson. Miley Dawn Short. Keegan Preston Miller. Charlie Rydell Evans. Silas William Holbrook. Taylor Renee Manley. Talon Jordan Calvo. Miley Grace Vandentorn. Tegan James Van Dyken. Elise Marie Dozma. Jaden Michael Malave. Peyton Lee Regan. Jaron Eston Lee Frisbee. Lindsay Sue Mogdis. Skylar Kincaid Miller. Liberty Sue Tice. Braden Mark Harrington. Gracie Jody Smith. David J. Medina. Isabella Rose Tennyson. Kane Jonathan Helder. Gabriella Marie Renteria. Jonah Benjamin Hummel. Mandy Lynn Rose Moomey. Andrew Donald Shear. Alexis Marie Betts. Nathan Lucas Murphy. Charlotte Ann Garrison. Lincoln Cash O'Toole. Peyton Joe Mason. Colton Ray Hummel. Lillian Clara May Kroll. Kitri Diane Gentry. Addison Pearl Hall. Brianna Faye Taylor. Sophia Helene Jagger Breimeyer. Joseph Howard Coles. Chloe Olivia Martin. Mario Gallegos Ortiz. Kaylin May Castle. Matthew Joseph Blanchand. Willow Nicole Moon. Xavier Michael Strickland. Mary Rose Summerfield. Mariah Praise Langdon. Ava Grace Flynn. Jocelyn Ann Rose Smith. Congratulations. Nadia Riley Ordaway. Madeline Moe Grace Collins. Ariana May Caudell. Brooklyn Nicole Cornish. Riley Renee Mooney. Haley Marie Conrad. And last but not least, yes, Amora Lily Hall. As I told our students, they're not officially graduates yet. There's some magic that still has to happen, and we'll get there soon. But first, we're proud to have our band performing live at our commencement ceremony. The Belding High School alma mater, the Orange and Black, is a song many of you have not heard in a long time and one that students rarely hear. Still, the tradition of playing the song honors the scores of BHS alumni who have celebrated in the past. Right now, please turn your attention to the Belding High School Symphonic Wind Ensemble as they play our alma mater. All right, students. Last year I delivered a real banger. And I said that this year I couldn't come back. I couldn't do a callback to Gen Z slang. But here's the thing. Preparing a graduation speech is tricky. Everybody wants something different, and everyone has advice. You guys told me it has to be funny. Parents, you probably want it to be meaningful. My children said, Dad, please don't embarrass us again. And Mr. Noski and the Board of Education basically told me, please remember, you're speaking into a microphone and we don't want to end up on the news. Which feels fair, honestly. And even more honestly, I ignored most of the advice. Before we go any further, quick show of hands. How many of you are still nervous right now? How many of you are excited? Good, good. And how many of you are mostly wondering how long this speech is going to be? Perfect. That's the level of honesty I've come to expect from you. And don't worry, I've narrowed it down to like 6-7 minutes. I do want to start with something important tonight. This really is important. The adults here do not have it figured all out. I know that may be unsettling news after 13 years of education, but it's true. Most adults are just confidently improvising. Sure, we walk through hallways quickly holding notebooks so people assume we know where we're going. We schedule send emails at 6:11 in the morning to appear productive. We use phrases like, per my last email, which is a professional adult language for, I already answered this, and I'm trying very hard not to type in all caps. And despite all of that, there are still days where I walk into school perfectly organized with a plan, and by 9:17 in the morning, the entire thing has fallen apart. Usually because of you. Somehow, every single day, 12 of you need to use the bathroom at the exact same time. Not before class, not after class, always during instruction, and always in groups large enough to qualify for a rec softball league. You're now about to enter adulthood where nobody tracks your attendance, nobody takes your phone, and nobody makes you ask permission to go somewhere. Ironically, the real world actually expects you to be on your phone constantly. Emails, messages, notifications, passwords, two-factor authentication. Honestly, we may have prepared you for the wrong era entirely. And yet, even with all of that freedom, some of you will still be late and still not know where your charger is. That's not failure, that's just independence with consequences. At some point very soon, people are going to start asking you huge life questions. What's next? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 years? Some of you don't know what you're going to do in 5 minutes. Some of you came into my office this year not because you were in trouble, but because you wanted to review security camera footage of your friend falling down the stairs. Not out of concern, you wanted to watch it again, frame by frame, like the Zapruder film. Then you wanted to film it yourself and make sure it could get posted on Almost Friday. Honestly, I respect the commitment. And then there were daily negotiations about leaving campus for lunch. Every single time, the process was the same. You would come and ask me first, I would say no. Then you'd immediately go and ask Mr. Underhill, because somewhere along the way, all of you realized he has a heart and the enforcement instincts of a substitute teacher on the day before break. At this point, I don't even know why I'm part of the process anymore. I'm not an administrator, I'm just the first step on your disappointment tour. Honestly, if you really wanted to go to Wesco badly enough, you knew exactly who to ask. Some of you bypassed me entirely and went straight to Underhill like you were exploiting a loophole in the Constitution. And then there were conversations about the tunnels. I'm still not naming names, but Amara and her friends have been rambling about tunnels, buzzards, and coupons. To this day, I genuinely do not know if this is an elaborate inside joke or evidence that I completely lost control of this place somewhere around November. And then, the greatest tradition in modern education, the group project. One person did all the work. 2 people kept saying, just tell me what to do. One person volunteered to make the Google Doc and then disappeared like a Revolutionary War soldier presumed lost at sea. And somehow, you still all got an A. Frankly, some of you are heading into the workforce with a group project resume, and that concerns me deeply. But here's what I've realized watching you guys over the last 4 years. All of that chaos actually taught you something. You learned how to adjust. You learned how to recover. You learned how to keep going when things didn't go according to plan. Because the people who succeed in life usually are not the people with a perfect plan. They're the people who had a plan, watched it fall apart completely, stared at the situation for a minute thinking, well, this is less than ideal, and then kept going anyway. And you know how to do that. I've watched you navigate difficult years, stressful moments, uncertainty, pressure, disappointment, and all the normal challenges of growing up while still somehow finding a way to make this place feel alive. You brought energy into this building, sometimes too much energy. There were days where walking through the halls felt less like supervising a high school and more like managing a loud, mildly organized zoo. You treated the student section like a full-time job. You turned senior parking spots into a public art installation. Some of you treated Tuesdays like they had personally offended you, but you still showed up anyway. And somewhere along the way, this stopped feeling like a class I supervise and started feeling like a group of people I genuinely care about, which is unfortunate for me emotionally, because now I have to stand here and act professional while all of you leave. I still remember the first day of your freshman year. Some of you, Riley Mooney, remember this too. I stood in front of you and told you something that felt a little strange at the time. I told you I love you. And honestly, some of you looked deeply uncomfortable. Which again, fair. We had just met. But I meant it then, and I mean it now. Because it was never about being weird. It was about making sure you understood something that I hope you carry with you long after tonight. You matter. You matter to each other, and you matter to me. Not because of your GPA, not because of awards or test scores or athletic accomplishments or your future plans. You matter because of who you are and what you bring into the lives of other people. And there's one thing I hope you take away from Belding High School above anything at all, and it is that you do matter. The world you're walking into is a little chaotic, a little unpredictable, and very strange. That's okay. You're strange too. There's still room for your ideas, your humor, your kindness, your work ethic, your perspective, and your voice. You do not have to have everything figured out right now. You just have to be willing to move forward. Class of 2026, I love you. I'm proud of you. You made this place louder, weirder, more chaotic, and a whole lot better. And when life gets overwhelming, because sometimes it will, find yourself a Mr. Underhill, somebody who will remind you that rules matter, but people matter more. Would the class of 2026 please rise? Students, for the last time, students, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pride to present to you the newest alumni of Belding High School. Congratulations.